My name is Jonathan Parks, and welcome to Jonathan's Nature Crafts. I must inform you that I do not live in this house by myself, but live here with other people. Sometimes other members of the household may have to walk through areas where I might be recording with other family members on the phone. If you hear any noise like that, please feel free to disregard. We are doing our best to get noise-canceling equipment, which may at least keep you from hearing exactly what is being said. Thank you for considering. So for another little moment, I came back on to do another little thing and pick up in a little place where I left off probably the last time around. But as for these little lines, there's a couple more lines that go up this way to make the backs of the arms and the elbows. So got to put them in here in a way like this where they're kind of a little bit straight up from the angles. And I say for just kind of putting a little work in things and how it's going to come along. I mean, I don't know how loud I can be. I've kind of probably got to keep my voice down a little more. Parents are probably upstairs sleeping, so, you know, it's Sunday afternoon, and a lot of people, church people especially, do take naps on Sunday afternoon, so kind of how it goes. It's what I was always told growing up in my family. My parents always did. Most people I knew always did, so kind of went. Well, see, and I say that as for this little kind of work, I'll tell y'all that it's just putting little marks into the work like that. And I say that this is just kind of one little type of work we take along here. And I will tell you all, I'm hoping to get around to these tall boy horse videos soon, but do need to mention that I've got one more month to work in the school system, so I'd say I'm going to get a summer break after that, then go back in August, but that's kind of, for now, the way it's going to go. And for little times and work, I say that there was certain work we did up here around the heads, but I think at this point might kind of do a little something exceptional to what I'd usually do. But I'd say of all things, we just kind of try to save the face until last, because that'll be a harder thing. Don't think last time around I ever demonstrated on video how I did the faces, but that is going to be something maybe this time around I've gotten skilled and practiced enough. We might be able to do it on video, but I say for now, we make a little dash along this little line and probably kind of holding the wood in a way where I could demonstrate a little bit, but just want to say that there's a certain way to kind of handle wood and certain way to be careful handling it so that you don't let the knife slip to your finger and cut yourself. These gloves are getting kind of worn and old, so they're kind of getting little holes, and just recently ordered a couple of new Teflon gloves that I probably ought to be using, but I say that this is just one little way that little cuts are made to go to the back of the belt for this little Santa character. I say, nice little work. Make a little place back there where little belt comes in, kind of like with this genuine mahogany. Make a little cut slip right there. Make another little place right here where we kind of cut along a little bit, and I say just put little works in the piece, and I say just for one little last line, it's just kind of like how we just make some little marks to go the way they do. And I say little Santas can kind of say a little thing or two for us. Oh, I tell y'all, in biblical days, I say, biblical days. There's just little things I'm reading online reminded me. I'm going to make the same cut here and chop along that line there. And there's just kind of the little interests we have in things, and so one day, just one day, I might kind of make other little interesting things to come along. And here in the African mahogany, we make this little cut along here to go right to the little back of the belt, and up here, I'd say we forgot it on this last genuine mahogany one, but these little marks that make the little separate the elbows from the back, got to put the work into them as well, and come back, take care of it on this one too, and see, it's almost like you're just kind of making all this production of things, only kind of doing it with your hand. And from all I see and hear and understand from people, they would much rather have something that's made uniquely by hand than done by a factory machine. So it's just kind of like how with these things, you know, we kind of learn over time the things people like the best and what they want the most, and what we kind of put the extra time and work into doing to make what they like and make what they want. It's just kind of how a little business goes here and there with the little lines that make backs of the Santas. I've been also just kind of thinking how much I've enjoyed seeing how my subscribers kind of rise from time to time. Still probably at about the same number of subscribers that I had last time I checked before that. Can't remember when it was, but always just be nice to continue to gain more. I say there's little cuts we make here. You know, it's also just kind of strange how there's things people do on social media where they kind of make little tricks to scam people, and I don't watch it a whole lot, but I see on these videos how people get all these Instagram and TikTok subscribers, and how that sometimes, just sometimes, it's like, you know, they're trying to kind of gain a career for themselves, but they get on there and fake a lot of things, use a lot of false fake things to pretend they're real, kind of, you know, manipulate things and make things look a little different than they are, just to kind of try to get more followers. And sometimes, just sometimes, they get a little moment where they also just start to think that when somebody just finally made public what they did, they think you've ruined their careers, but lots of times it's just mostly stuff they've just done to themselves, you know. And It's kind of like how, you know, there was this one line I read in one of those videos that said, the truth can cost you nothing, but a lie can cost you everything. And some of these people, I mean, they certainly lied, and yes, it did cost them so much more than you'd ever think it would. And for all times, I say, it's like this is just kind of ways that little work gets done. And I'll tell you a little more about how this work comes out in the end. If you've ever seen the thumbnail on these videos, you probably know what St. Nicholas looks like in the end after he's been painted and everything, or at least the ones from Walnut, that is. But I'll tell y'all that there's so much more I'd share given the time and the chance. And these things, I mean, they're just kind of good sellers. And I'd say for the ones I've done that just kind of, I'd say, just had a little strangeness in them, and had kind of the things where, you know, I just kind of trying to get things hurried up real fast, kind of did things where I just kind of burnt in little lines for the ruffles instead of really painting them. But I'd say for a little more time we have left, I can demonstrate another little line we make. This is the line out of which we come to carve the face when we get down to it. And there can probably be another video or two where I'll demonstrate how we make the little carving cuts that separate the hem from the face. And for all things, I tell y'all that this is just kind of one little work that shows just like that, I say, and make little places where the lines can really come to the sides and show little Santa Claus what he is truly made of. I've had little gnomes and Santas where sometimes the ears showed out, but this one, I'd say the hood pretty much covers them, so there's kind of no way to really make them out. But it's just kind of the little way that a job of this sort has to work. And we all just kind of have our own little ways of having our adventures in life. So many things I can't wait to try to make from so many more different kinds of woods. I'll show you all sometime even how I've probably made those little chimney Santas before. Or I've only made one before, but it's sold, and think between now and Christmas I hope to get many more of those made. It's probably not going to show up on video since I've not had enough practice at them, but I say for a little time and work, we're going to make this come out as good and best as we can make it do. And so I say, kind of just a little time, effort makes the good little characters the way we need to see them and have them come out to be. And last of all, I'm doing these ones on the genuine mahogany here, and there's going to come a time we're going to come on, do the next video, hopefully maybe consider carving this step, but not sure just yet what we're going to do next. So that's where we make it along this way. And probably there's going to be a step or two here where we make this little line that's going to separate the ruffle from the shoulder, and come along, see how that does. And with all the things I say, little work coming our way, is just a time when carving becomes essential. You know, everybody's not blessed to do the same thing, but you know, there comes a time when we all know that we can find out what our gifts and abilities truly are. So I'd say I've got a few more lines to make, and then we'll end the video there. But this is just kind of like the little relaxing type of work of art I do. And so before I do those last two, I'll end the video and say thank you for watching, thank you for coming on, and keep in touch always. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I hope to see you in the next video. Stay tuned.